Glasses, COVID mask, bill to pay, and let's see, what else do I need? A photo of Michael. So I need to get this photo of Michael from my desk here. This thing has been with me for a long time. I mean, I always bring it with me so I never forget why I do this.
Michael Bell Sr. has been fighting for police accountability for over 15 years. Bell was one of hundreds of people who gathered this weekend on the streets of Kenosha, Wisconsin, in support of Jacob Blake, who was shot 7 times in the back by a Kenosha police officer.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
The incident is being investigated by multiple agencies. Blake's family says he's now paralyzed from the waist down.
My son, the other day when I was in the hospital, he grabbed my hand, he stroked my head, and he said, Daddy, I love you. Then my baby said, Daddy, why did they shoot me so many times? I said, baby, they weren't supposed to shoot you at all.
Michael Bell understands what Jacob Blake's father is going through. In 2004, his own son, Michael Bell Jr., was stopped in front of his home by Kenosha police. Police say Bell resisted arrest. After a struggle, one of the officers fatally shot him in the head. The police department conducted an internal investigation and declared its own officers innocent of any wrongdoing. Michael Bell Sr. has been pushing for answers and change ever since. He even got a state law passed that requires deaths in police custody to be investigated by an external agency. But he's still fighting on behalf of his son, and watching the Blake shooting brought everything back again. What was that moment like for you when you saw that video of Jacob Blake being shot?
I was appalled to see what was happening. At first, my family knew about it, and they didn't want to tell me about it because that seems to take over our life a little bit.
You used one adjective. You said appalled when you saw that. I think a lot of people, when they saw that video of Jacob Blake, they were appalled. I'd imagine that your feelings go beyond just the word appalled.
I'm going to say that I'm getting a little desensitized to it because of the fact that I've been involved with so many families through so many years. Story after story after story.
The desensitized feeling that you're describing, I think that's something that people at home feel, people who haven't experienced this. That must be another level for you.
Oh, yeah. I tell everybody, and I've made this clear, that this is a degree of suffering that nobody will understand until they experience firsthand.
You know, there are families who are the families of George Floyd, the families of Breonna Taylor, right? Families of Elijah McClain, right? All these other names. We could go down the list. At some point, the national media comes in, the national media goes away. What is it like when those cameras leave? You've experienced it.
Yeah, the pain is still there. Our family's been damaged by this. I tell everybody that they see the impossibility of trying to fight the system. I'm a white, retired military officer who wore a uniform. I have a college education, I have resources, and I could not get justice for my child. There's a dog park right over here, and there was only 2 people in the dog park. It was myself with my dog and this other gentleman. It's an African-American man. And he walked up to me and he says, aren't you Michael Bell? Wasn't your son the one that was shot by police? And he said to me, he said, damn, he said, if they can shoot a white boy like a dog, can you imagine how bad it's been for black families? And I'll never forget that. And I get pretty upset when I have a lot of friends and families and neighbors, and they still have these blinders on that says that uniform can't do anything wrong, and that person must have got what they deserved.
Because you've experienced it yourself.
Experienced it firsthand. And I would tell people about it, and I'd tell people, My daughter and my son's mother watched him executed with his hands behind his back, and they shot him in the head. He did nothing wrong, and when I tell people about it, they can't believe it. The problem is the darn system. The system is broken. It's decentralized, it's fragmented. One of the ways forward is continue to push for proper legislation. We've asked for a national transportation style learning model, and it's very, very important. If you look at a police shooting like you did, a plane crash, and analyze what the root cause is, don't blame the officer, don't blame the victim, just analyze what went wrong and then implement new procedures to prevent it from happening again.
It occurs to me that at a certain point you could have said, you know what, I can't talk about this anymore.
Your father, I assure you, would be doing the same thing that I am doing if somebody killed you. And I am doing this for this young man who I loved. And so I could quit, but when a worldwide phenomena like George Floyd or Jacob Blake occur, I have to be present because that window of opportunity opens for a very short period of time. And if I don't grab everything that we can out of it, we're not going to be able to move forward.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!